Boys don't cry, men do. I feel like a lot of guys don't talk about how they feel, and that's because of how they were raised, how society portrays men. Because since a young age we're taught to be that strong figure, we're taught to not talk about how we feel, we're taught to just thug things out. And I feel like it's very important for a man to talk about how he feels, because if he doesn't talk about what he's going through and things that have happened to him, then they'll just all bottle up like a balloon, and you'll just keep going and going and going, bottling it up. Just keep blowing up until one day he'll just blow up. And that can look like a lot of different things, and it can go from hurting people around him and hurting himself. And I feel like it is very important for a man to thug things out, for a man to not complain about things. But like, if one little inconvenience happens, I don't think that you should complain about it. There's like an extent to things. It's like, if something happens that's really affecting you, that's really weighing on you, you need to tell somebody about it. You should talk to your friends about it. You should have a group of other men around you who have the same mindset that you can share struggles with, that you can talk about problems with, and how to deal with them, how to get over them. And I feel like if you talk to your partner about things, and this is for the partners, if a man opens up to you about how he's feeling, if he is vulnerable enough and if he trusts you enough to tell you that, then you can't use anything that he said against him, because then he will never open up to you again, and that will create distance in your relationship, because he's taught to not open up, he's taught to not show any weakness, and the moment he does, it's used against him. So don't try to prove a point or put him down because of what he's going through, because of his insecurities. He's opening up to you because he trusts you enough to hold it, not to throw it back at him. So don't use things against him. Be there for him. Tell him that he's gonna get through it. Tell him that he's good enough. Tell him that it will pass. Because I feel like a lot of people don't understand that there's really three things that can be happening in somebody's life. You can either be in a storm, just getting out of a storm, or heading towards a storm. And you need to be there for the men in your life at all of those stages, because if it's just storm after storm after storm, you need to be that umbrella sometimes. You need to be that shelter that he can come back to, that he can come home to some sort of peace in his life. So you can't always just be downpouring even more onto somebody. And it's important for men to feel their emotions and their feelings, because if you don't use it, then you will lose it. So if you don't use that emotional connection to yourself, if you don't feel things, then you're eventually just going to be numb to everything. You're not going to be able to love people around you. You're not going to be able to love your kids the way that they deserve. So don't always bottle things up. Don't always keep things to yourself. And yes, I feel it's very, very important for men to thug things out, for men to be strong in situations, because you need to be a rock. You need to be that rock for the people around you. But you can't always be a rock. It's a very complicated, and it's hard to navigate this, because there's you having to provide and you having to go out all the time, and no matter what happens, showing up for those around you. No matter what's going on with you, you need to be there, because if not you, then who? But knowing the time and the place to share and talk about the struggles, talk about the bad things, especially with a good group of people, a good group of guys around you, because they've probably been through similar things, or they're probably going to go through similar things. So if they know that you've gone through the same thing, they can come to you and say, yo, this is happening in my life. I don't know what to do. And you can tell them, that happened to me too. This is how I got through it. Or I don't actually know. I am still dealing with this now. We can get through this together. We can solve this together. We can carry this boat together. It's like in the Navy. You will rarely ever carry a boat by yourself. It's you and your brothers who carry the boats together. So your boats is the problems that life throws at you. So don't think that you have to carry the boats by yourself. Don't think that you can't talk to anybody, because chances are a lot of people have gone through the same thing as you, and it only takes one person to start the conversation, to start the brotherhood. So just knowing who you're talking to, knowing that if I open up to these guys, they'll help me, they'll want the best for me, they won't put me down, they won't make fun of me and make me feel weak for going through problems. So don't feel weak for experiencing problems. Everybody goes through them. So I hope if you're dealing with anything right now, if you're going through anything right now, and you feel like you're alone, you feel like you have nobody to talk to, a lot of people are there for you. So know that you do have somebody. And it's important to have an outlet that's not other people. Because if you can't talk to other people, you need something else that you can just go and blow some steam off. It's like, for me, it's gonna go play basketball, or going to the gym, lifting weights, going on a run. Or sometimes at night, it's good to journal out. It's good to write down what you're going through, how you're feeling, your goals, everything. You need an outlet that's not other people. So find that outlet. Find a good group of people. Find a partner that you can trust with your problems. A partner that won't put you down. And you shouldn't settle for anything less. So talk to somebody and be there for them. I hope I could help. I hope I could open some good conversations, and I hope you're doing well, and have a great rest of your night. We'll see you in the next one.